Project Chimera. The beasts of old are returning. A person that doesn't jump out of their seat when they hear animal and human hybrids. Man, we gotta wake up. It just keeps getting worse. That's all I can say. It just keeps getting worse.
You'll be dealing with hybrid armies. You'll be dealing with little green men, little green hybrid and armies.
DNA is highly programmable, just like a computer.
We use DNA as a programmable material.
And we can program a whole range of complex behaviors using DNA molecules. Biological computers.
Now we're working with a different type of computer, really bacteria. They're like information processors that do chemicals, but they're different. You know, they're programmable, but the cool thing is they also make more of themselves. So they're like computers that can reproduce. This is pretty powerful.
Get ready for tomorrow. Watch this.
Big day for the newest class of Pokemons.
You're going to learn some amazing stuff, the cutting edge of science. People are actually composing life. But what they're doing is they're writing DNA, and they're writing it the same way that a software developer would write code for a computer. Except in this case, they're writing DNA that's then put into a living thing and can replicate. Writing DNA into a living thing.
Programmable matter is still in the early developmental stages.
You could have a material that could change its shape.
Programmable matter.
Material that could change its shape.
As a scientist, that I had the opportunity to see the human genome, a piece of human DNA coded on my computer screen. That DNA is a language. Something inside of every one of us that tells us we're part of a greater existence and tells us that we're a family. That higher intelligence would have left the message encoded into the creation itself.
The DNA world and the digital world are becoming rapidly interchangeable. We're defragging the genome.
We are going to become gods. Period. The only way you can prevent me is to kill me when I have big trouble. Then we'll have warfare. You kill me, I'll kill you.
We now have the opportunity to redesign evolution, to create what might be called rational evolution. Nature could have created, we can create in a single generation. And just as we can modify mice to run much further, we could modify humans to run much further.
Make cuts in any DNA sequence, which allows us to mutate or edit those DNA sequences.
It's two strands of DNA that come together, and as they bind to one another, a third strand that was initially bound is kicked off.
If you have pigs with partly human brains, you would have animals that might actually have consciousness like a human. It might have human-type needs.
And this is something very exciting, because for the first time, human cells can grow inside an animal.
Animal that matures with human cells could end up with altered intelligence.
Just last year, for the first time in world history, a memory was recorded. We can actually tape record a memory and insert it back into an animal, and it remembers. This is amazing.
Scientists at Duke University have successfully isolated a gene sequence that is integral to human brain development and used it to grow a mouse embryo with a bigger brain.
Tape record a memory and insert it back into an animal, and it remembers.
So right now, you could take a skin cell from me and grow a mini brain of my brain.
Yes.
That is wild. Place these tissues into a very dense protein gel that allowed them to self-organize and form the architecture of an actual developing human brain.
Tape record a memory and insert it back in.
The boundaries between human and non-human can become quite blurred.
We're building Iron Man.
You'll be dealing with hybrid armies. You'll be dealing with little green men.